Hey guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel or simply not yet subscribed, my name is Brittany. This is Sebastian. Say hi.
Hi guys.
And definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button and that like button for us, right?
Yep. To get my white be bigger. It's not broken over. Right, Mommy?
No, it's not broken at all.
Being new. Santa got me it.
Santa got you it?
Yeah, right, Mommy?
Right. Okay, well now we're going to go to the topic for the video, okay?
Okay, Mommy.
Okay, so just sit down.
Okay.
Okay. So today we are going to be talking about the John Lawson house. Located in the town of Wappinger Falls in upstate New York. Is it Wappinger? What? Wappinger?
Is it Wappinger or Wappinger?
I don't know. You're gonna check?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Okay. Jeff is gonna check how to actually pronounce it. There is a house that is shrouded in mystery. This house has even deemed the title of one of the creepiest locations in the United States. In the early 2000s, 3 mannequins suddenly appeared on the porch. And these
can walk.
Ah, you were right.
I was right. Wappinger Falls.
Oh, baby. And then
Okay, buddy.
take a bit. No, they walk. Wait, Mommy. Wait, Mommy.
Okay, yep. Now these mannequins would stay there on the porch of this house for over a decade. They weren't just regular mannequins though, which would be creepy if somebody just put mannequins on their porch anyways. But these mannequins moved. So we're gonna talk about the history of the house a little bit because it does tie into theories of why the mannequins are there. The John Lawson house is considered one of the oldest homes in the area. This house was completed in 1845 by John Lawson. People don't really know who John Lawson was, but it's believed that he was one of the original colonists of the Hudson River Valley. The Lawson family is said to have deep roots in New Hamburg, which is basically right next to Wappinger Falls. New Hamburg became a very busy river port in the middle of the 1800s due to the Hudson River Valley getting a lot of economic activity. Wealthy people from New York City would move up north and they began building summer homes along the river, and this became great for local business. The John Lawson house is described as a center hall house with central cross gable, bracketed cornice, corbelled chimneys, and arched top windows. Not long after this house was finished being built, a New Hamburg Railroad station opened up nearby. And on February 6, 1871, only 20 years after the station opened, a 25-car freight train that was carrying oil was traveling from Albany southbound through New Hamburg on the Hudson River Railroad line. At the same time, another train that was carrying passengers was going the opposite direction. It departed from New York City and was heading northbound towards Albany. The freight train had just went under a tunnel near New Hamburg when a station switchman had seen that there was a broken axle underneath the middle car. Now this broken axle was causing sparks to fly right underneath that car that was carrying oil. The axle disengaged and the car derailed. It flipped over onto the northbound track just as the passenger train was approaching. The freight train's engineer was able to stop it, and he went out with a flagman, held up red lights, and tried to warn the passenger train of the car with oil. But it was too late. The passenger train's engineer did see the warning. They saw the lights, but they couldn't stop the train in time. They tried to put the train in reverse, but it just wouldn't slow down fast enough. And it ended up slamming right into the train car. Now, like I said, this train car contained oil. So 22 people lost their lives in the fiery explosion. This happened only 200 feet away from the John Lawson house. This wasn't the only tragedy to take place so close to the home. Only 6 years later, on May 3rd, 1877, Frank Loyster, who was a resident in the town, heard a fire in an alleyway between the Madison house and a store that was owned by Frank Myers. Loyster tried to stomp out the fire, but it only spread right into the store. The kerosene room caught fire. This resulted in a violent explosion. Flames rushed through the entire building and a general alarm was sounded. Townspeople brought buckets of water and tried their hardest to put the fire out, but the water was just making the kerosene fire even worse, so it continued to spread. So they ended up sending somebody on horseback to the nearest fire department to try to stop the fire. But by the time the fire department got there, it was already too late. The fire department was 2 miles away, and since it was on horseback, it didn't really make it there very quickly. And the fire had already started to consume buildings by that point. The buildings were beyond saving. The area continued to smolder all throughout the night. And some believe that the fire started in the store, but others believe that it was actually an arsonist that started this fire intentionally. The case remains unsolved, but a total of 7 buildings were completely destroyed. The John Lawson house was one of the few buildings that survived this fire. Now, the house sold in January of 2003 for $164,500. Not long after that sale was when the mannequins appeared. Their clothes would regularly change along with the wigs that they were wearing. The clothes and the wig styles seem to date back to the 1920s or 1930s. The mannequins also had props. They would be posed as if they were reading books, or they would just hold different objects such as a bird cage, a toolbox, or even an empty milk jug. Now, because of these mannequins and the fact that they were constantly changing movements and their props and their clothing, it garnished some attention. And even eerier, nobody ever saw anybody coming or going. No one, no living human being was ever seen in or around the house. So how did the mannequins move? Or how did they even get there to begin with? Some believe that it was to honor the tragedies, and this reason is because 2 of the mannequins face in the direction of the train crash. However, the other mannequin faces in the direction of the fire. Now, I think the biggest thing that doesn't hold up to the mannequins honoring the tragedies is the fact that the tragedies predate the clothing era that the mannequins are seen wearing. So if they were honoring the tragedies, you would think that they would try to match the same dates or time period of clothing. Others believe that the spirits of the tragedies that actually manipulate and move the mannequins. And even earlier in 2016, the mannequins just vanished. There's been no sign of them since, and no explanation was ever given. Just gone. I don't know what you guys think is the reason for these mannequins. Do you think they were supposed to be symbolic of the tragedies that happened so close to the house? Or do you think that it could be the spirits that are manipulating them? But the spirits probably weren't the ones that put them there, so why would people put them there to begin with? I mean, I guess it's a possibility that the spirits instructed the owners to put them there. I don't know. I'm really curious to hear your guys' opinion and what you believe was the reason for these mannequins. I think it is creepy that no one, ever was seen going to and from this house or moving the mannequins. I mean, yeah, you could move them in the middle of the night or really early in the morning, but to never see somebody coming and going, that's really strange. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button for me, and until next time, adios, bye.